Talk is cheap. Walk the walk. What do I mean by that is, too many people talk too much. People make these false promises and believe their own shit. What I find is, no matter what your profession is, no matter what you studied, no matter what in relation to your academics you've reached, many people believe that what they say they will do. What I mean by that is, and it creates this contradiction. I find that everyone thinks they're a philanthropist. Everyone believes, oh yeah, I would help someone that's on the street starving. But how many people have you walked past? I mean, how many people have you walked past? And let's say walk past somebody that isn't necessarily homeless. How many times have you driven past the person that's broken down and they've got a flat tire and they're trying to change that tire and they've created a traffic jam and you're watching hundreds of cars drive by? Are you one of the hundreds that drive by, or do you believe, or you'd pull over and help them? Let me tell you, most don't. Actually, I did that once. And I didn't want to. That's the thing you don't get. You think you want to pull over. I didn't want to. But the reason I pulled over is because I didn't want to be like everyone else that drove past. And people were honking their horns because we were blocking traffic. But no one could see I was helping this lady who was trying to get home, trying to get to daycare to pick up her daughter. And she's got a flat tire because someone swayed and made her hit the footpath. It's not so much about me gloating about me and the fact that I helped her. What I'm saying is, you don't want to help anyone. No one does. I don't at times. But when push comes to shove, you have to look at yourself and think, are you going to be like everyone else? Because it's not comfortable. It's so easy to walk away from something. But I've sat in churches where I've heard the minister speak about helping one another, fellow Christians, help your neighbour. And you know what? I've seen them themselves not help anyone. It just sounds great. It's great to tell people what to do, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to action it. So I find also what it creates is an element in me, but in a way, this massive contradiction. Like, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the gurus. I'm sick of the one that let me tell you how to make money when they've got no money. Let me help you with mental health while I take antidepressants. Let me show you how to do something. Just because you believe it doesn't mean you can do it. But what you're after is some kind of recognition, maybe some monetary payment. So like I said to you, for me, what I've noticed is everyone is just talking shit. And I've got what's called the 5% rule. And it's always been that 5% will do anything. 5% of the world goes into business. 5% of the world is nice. Actually, 5% of the world's evil. But the other 95% are just asleep. So, you know, like I said, people tell you, oh yeah, I would stand up in a fight with you. But would you? Like, think about it. You've got this enemy coming at you and they're drawing guns. And this is a moment where it's do or die. Would you jump in the trenches and fight, or would you be the one that runs away? A majority would run away. Like I said, I've just listened to so many stories, even about faith, spirituality, energy, that would make you and become something predominantly what you're not. So what I'm alluding to is, don't be the big mouth in the room. Don't be the know-it-all. Don't even believe you would do something. How about you just believe, would I, in a situation that presented itself? Would you? I still believe, just because if I have done something, big deal. Would I do it again? That's the question. Would I do it again? That's what's done is done. But would you do it again? That's the hard bit. Hard bit to reach out and help people. And most people are out there telling you, be careful. You can't trust them. Be careful. It might cost you dearly. It's everyone's fear that also can make you not do something. But most of all, I think it's ego. So I find, talk is cheap. That people are all talk, no action. And I think if you want to be a standout, not to people, not a standout to your mates, not a standout, because your mates aren't going to agree with you if you decide to pull over and they're in the car and you want to help someone with a flat tire. They're going to want you to keep going because they're either hungry or want to get home or there's a destination to go to. But also, don't assume you do it. How about you just would think that you would? And how about you just don't open your mouth and sit there and tell people what you're about? Because I promise you, you'll be the first person contradicting it all. I know it. I've seen it too much. Like I said, it doesn't matter your profession. You can be a doctor. I've seen them make promises and not follow through. Everyone believes it's okay not to follow through, but it's not. It's okay to change your mind and it's okay to communicate that. But that's where people lack the communication part. I can promise you I'll do something and then I don't want to do it. But if I let you know I don't want to do it, now we're going with that narrative. So like I said, don't sit there and think I said it and you did it. I said it and I would do it. I thought it and I know I'd do it. That's bullshit. Just know that maybe you wouldn't. Maybe realize that it's not about the task, but it's about showing up. And would you have the courage to actually do it? You can sit and think, you know what, I might go and feed the homeless. And you can sit there and say that till the cows come home. You can sit there and say, oh, I'm going to go. I wish I gave that person money, or if I was in that situation, I'd give that person some money. But would you give money you don't necessarily have or have spare? So if it's your last $5, would you give it? So like I said to you, don't say you'd give. You only give when you've got plenty. You only give when you think you've had enough. So the moral of the story here in Steve Talks is that talk is cheap, man. Just don't open your mouth. No one needs to know that you did a good deed. No one needs to know what your intentions are. How about you just go do it because it makes you feel good. And if by chance people around you heard about it and heard about it and somehow saw it, or, you know, it came up in a conversation, I promise you, even their reactions, the first thing they'd say is, I'd do it. Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're thinking. Oh my God, I know exactly how you feel. Oh, I know exactly why you did it. I would do it. And that's bullshit. No one does it. I've seen it day in, day out. They've told me where faith is. They've told me where spirituality is. They've told me everything, but they contradict the hell out of it. Like I said, they're not into money. They're into money. They're not into fame. They're into fame. They're not into ego. They're into ego. They're into openness. No, they're into what they believe. So like I said to you, don't open your mouth. Don't talk. Shh. Say nothing. The strongest person is the one that's silent. And the best form of communication, which I'm still trying to learn, is the number one tool, the Bruce Lee, the sensei of all, is to listen. Best form of communication. And as I tell you this, I still believe, would I do what I preach? And I can tell you, openly and honestly, I don't know. But I do wish I would. I do wish that I would follow through. And what I do know is I will try. So, talk is cheap. Actions speak louder than words. Don't do as I say, do as I do.